welcome to Seasons of Skyrend, a custom 5th edition D&D adventure that focuses on the stories of our characters as they explore the world around them. I am your host and DM, Scott.
Hi, my name is Shannon. I play Arnis Grey, or Grey the Great, to my fans. I am a half-elf bard.
Hi, my name is Chris. I play Vale the Changeling Rogue, sometimes known as Kara Frostfall or Lord Carver Golddagger III.
Hi, my name is Nate. I play Darvin Grimm, the Human Monk.
Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy this chapter in Seasons of Skyrend. The plans of gods and guilds are all well and good on their own, but there's bound to come a time when the law disagrees. This is especially true for the likes of Vale and Darvin. Now, they may be used to hiding their deeds from outsiders, but their companions are another story. Arnis is still in the dark when it comes to some truths, and Samudio, well, Sam has put a lot of trust into his new friends. Captain Thorn has discovered the body of Cortland Fortenberry Jr. In response, she has ordered the city locked down. Even now, Orc and Halfling forces are moving to secure the outpost and the stables. Within the city, the investigation is about to begin. Due to the severity of the crime, Earl Moore has asked for an expedited trial. In 1 week, just 6 days, the leaders of the city will put their chosen suspect, or suspects, on trial for murder. After the trial, the lockdown will end, even if the guilty party has yet to be found. Now, if you do nothing, the investigation and trial will proceed based on the given facts and circumstances. However, you're free to aid or interfere with either as you see fit. So on each of the 5 days leading up to this trial, if you choose to participate, of course, you can take 3 actions to interact with the proceedings. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. You can go to anyone in town, but the main parties are Earl Moore, Maraska, and Captain Thorn. This is because each of them can bring a suspect to the trial.
Of course.
One on behalf of the crown, one for the city, and one for the law enforcement. They do things a little differently in Honey Hollow, where they can have simultaneous trials. So, you are all at the hostel right now. And you can hear all this commotion, and you quickly discover word of mouth, just what's going on. This is what's about to happen. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to play along with this whole thing, or hide out, or run away, or I don't know what. But since only one of you actually knows what happened, let's start with Vale here real quick.
Oh, okay.
Vale, you hear that the city is being locked down and there's going to be a trial.
How much does Vale trust you? Well, you already know my biggest secret. Okay.
Have I told anyone that
So
shit?
it's morning.
Seriously?
Yes, it's
I'm going to go knocking on Arnis's door. Knock, knock, knocking on Arnie's door.
Don't call me Arnie, guys. I will kill you with my brain.
Minstrel Arnie.
Minstrel Arnie and his loot fantastic.
Yes.
That would have been a really
That
good
is the
name.
name of her band.
Dang it. That would have been a really good name.
So I'm knocking on Arnis's door.
I open up the door, and I go, just the person I was coming to see. Come in.
And I go in, and I shut and lock the door.
Mm-hmm. What did you do?
So first,
What did you do?
if I tell you all of these details, you need to know that there is a chance I could be putting your life in danger.
I'd say it's already in danger, considering I asked Earl Moore where this dude lived.
I forgot about that.
I'm already complicit. Thanks for that. That's great.
Okay. So, I'm not supposed to tell you what I'm about to tell you, because it could put both of our lives in danger. So this conversation never happened.
Yeah, whatever. Just get on with it.
You know how our monk friend is, like, part of some weird thing that we don't fully understand? Like, he's going off and doing weird things, and,
I know he's weird.
yeah. He's part of an order of monks that you don't fully understand, that sort of thing.
Go on.
Well, I'm part of an order, too. I'm just to see if he knows that. I work for the denouement. I'm a member of it.
Yeah, it's not a secret name of a guild or anything.
Yeah.
have a particular set of skills that make me really good at my job.
Oh, good God. Yeah, so do I. I generally don't use them to kill people if I don't have to.
If you have a problem with what I do, I can walk away now.
I don't see how that would do me much good, considering that if you walk away, the only person with a, weird random connection to this dude is me. So you're gonna get me thrown in jail, and you walk away. That's great. Thanks. Perfect. If you walk away, I'm just gonna, rat you out, right? And they'll come after you.
They won't be able to find me.
I don't care, but I will rat you out if you walk away. So thank you for trusting me. You get to stay now and help me. That's the trade-off there, buddy.
Okay. You've apparently obviously already put together then based on my affiliation that I killed Mr. Portland.
You asked me for information about this dude and then he ended up dead. I kind of put 2 and 2 together. It was not difficult math.
It's good to know you can do easy math.
Watched you threaten to kill people before.
I think the thing we need to do is get our stories about that evening completely worked out.
Well, I know where I was. I got a bar full of people who can tell you where I was.
Exactly.
So who am I supposed to say wanted to deliver something to this dude? Because I said a friend of mine, I believe. You can check the transcript. But I'm pretty sure I never said your name.
I'm pretty sure you never said my name either.
Correct.
Good, I did something right.
Well,
I don't have many friends in town, however.
we have a couple of options. Based on what you said, we could insinuate that it was the monk. Or, very simply, you run with a traveler, you run with a trader. We could have had something that he was carrying that we were delivering that was very mundane.
I don't know how comfy I am getting Sam involved, but I'm going to have to give him a name. Somebody's name. But if I give him Sam's name, they're going to haul him in for questioning. He's going to be like, I've never heard of this dude. I don't know what they're talking about.
The other option is we find a way out of town.
I don't think there is a way out of town. I mean, I'm certain there's a way out of town for you, Shapeshifty.
Well,
but
town is a hill of snow. We could just start digging.
You don't think they're going to notice?
Okay,
What are you doing?
so
Don't worry about it.
Shh. Shh. Shh.
No, seriously, what are you doing? No, it's fine.
Well, the other option is that you use your lovely people skills to try and figure out someone who may have wanted him dead and we can frame him. Because with your ability to talk to people and my ability to be people, we could easily frame someone.
Why don't we just make up somebody then who doesn't live here?
But then how did they get killed? If we make someone up that doesn't live here, how do we explain the dead body?
You be them. And then you be you. And then they're gone. And then they can't arrest them.
But then if the town is locked down, how did they get out?
They dug their way out.
Oh, Arnis, you're not helping!
Sorry. You left that door so far open.
You're so not helping.
I realize that's not helpful. I'm not the best in these sorts of situations. Not so great with the prospect of lying to the police.
Well, we're going to need your skill with words to get us through this.
Okay.
Why don't we spend the rest of the day trying to figure out what they know?
Pretty sure
And
they
then
know
go from there.
he's dead and someone killed him.
Beyond that,
I don't know.
what are their suspicions?
Okay, who do you want me to talk to?
That's a good question. Who should you talk to? Who do you think you should talk to?
Not the Earl.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
He's gonna find me eventually.
You seem to have hit it off with Maraska pretty well. Why don't you talk to her?
Okay.
Is anyone going to talk to Darvin about all this?
I'm really of the mind that...
We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
And while I don't trust him, I have enough on him that it would just be a stalemate in the arms race of our knowledge at this point.
What do you have on him?
You don't want to know.
Oh, good God. I hate you people so much. All of you. Just so much hate.
Alright, so I leave Arnis with the understanding that he's going to go talk to Maraska, and now I intend to go find Darvin.
Yeah, you can find Darvin in his room. He didn't sneak off anywhere in the middle of the night.
Alright. So
Darvin was happier not knowing. Just saying.
knocking on Darvin's door.
Knocking.
Knocking on.
Darvin's down.
Yes, what?
Darvin, can I come in and speak to you?
Oh, hi, it's you. Yes, come in.
And I come in and I lock the door behind me. And in slightly hushed tones, I ask him if he's heard about the murder in town.
Which I have, right?
There's a part of me that wants to ask him if
Cortland was definitely murdered.
Yeah. Do I know the name?
Yeah.
Cortland something, right?
People are either saying Cortland was murdered or the Flower Master was murdered. Nobody's talking about that young girl Mayapple getting murdered.
Because it was natural
causes. It
causes.
wasn't murder.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
It wasn't natural causes. I mean, if you count poison and bee stings natural causes.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was an accident.
So Darvin, I may have killed him.
Killed who? Oh wait. Do I want to know? Oh wait. The murder person.
Yes.
Right.
And that's really all you need to know, is that I may have killed him, and we need to figure out a way to make sure that the three of us can leave this town.
Doing some quick mental math. Okay, I'm with you.
So we need to figure out exactly what those that are investigating this trial know. Do you feel like you would be more successful speaking to the Earl or to the Captain to try and figure out what they know when it comes to their investigation?
I don't really remember who either of these people are.
You never met Earl Moore. You saw him when you came into town yesterday morning.
I'm the only one that's actually
But,
talked to him.
yeah, Aris is the one who talked to him.
Who's the...
Everybody's talked to Captain Thorn, though. She was the orc guarding the outpost when you first arrived in town. And the one who was asleep when you arrived in town again.
Okay. Then I'm probably better at talking to Captain Thorn.
Okay.
Although you probably are too.
Well, I'm not about to talk to the Captain. I'm not about to walk up to the person who saw me stumbling around town fake drunk, and I'm pretty sure knew I was faking it, about the murder that happened that same night.
Sure, I can talk to Captain Thorn. You just want me to pull as much information as I can.
We need either a patsy, or we need to know if they know nothing, then we can establish a narrative that they could believe.
Understood.
All right.
So
means I'm talking to the Earl.
So the three of you are heading out into the town, and we will call this morning on the first day. Because that was maybe just a few minutes chit-chat between each of those conversations. And as you emerge from the hostel and start going through the town, you can certainly see a number of orcs moving to secure the exits and entrances, along with some halflings. And, you don't see Earl Moore just wandering through, because he's not just a many people. He's doing something very specific. So where are you guys headed to?
I'm going to talk to the captain, as
All right.
promised.
You head into the town square, where you can find the captain. Captain Thorn is busy relaying orders between herself, Maraska, and Earl Moore. So the three of them are together there. They're just coordinating some efforts. Every once in a while, Captain Thorn will turn to her lieutenant, basically, and say, who to send where, just to help get the city officially locked down. Because right now, it's all still happening. They don't have it solidly fortified yet.
Hey, Captain.
Good morning. Look, it's not a great time.
I can see that, but I need a word.
Is it important?
Yeah.
If he rats me out right now.
Okay.
Ah, such a good idea.
All right, just a second. And she...
You know we'll kill you, right? Like the two of us collectively, we'll kill you.
It would make for a hell of an interesting story, though.
Yeah, it would.
You can do whatever you want. You just want to start murdering each other.
The suspense is killing you. I already know what I'm going to do.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, she orders a few more people sent out to the stables. So, all right, you got a few minutes, but really, I don't have a whole lot of time. Pressing matters here.
I'll make it fast, but you know that me and my companions are visitors to Honey Hall, right?
Yes, of course I do.
Beautiful, beautiful town, and it's wonderful, wonderful people.
Yes, to the important part, please.
Okay, I understand that the town is going on lockdown
It is what I'm in the middle of doing.
due to the terrible murder,
Yes.
which I understand. It's an inconvenience because my friends and I have some errands we need to run outside of town, but
No.
I know.
Nobody leaves till after the trial.
I know. But here's what I'm concerned about. Do you have a suspect or suspects?
Let's see, what will she tell you? Once we've secured the outpost and the stables, we're going to start investigating. We don't have anyone singled out yet.
So what assurances can you give to me that me and my companions, sorry, this is objective, not subjective.
I'm not a grammar police. I'm a regular police.
What assurances can you give me that we're not going to be murdered in our sleep by whoever did this?
Well, if you're overly concerned about that, I could certainly lock you up somewhere. We haven't seen a murder in this city in decades.
So you're saying you're not trained on how to handle it?
I'm saying it's not a common thing. I would not expect a repeat of last night. statistically speaking.
And I understand you don't really have suspects yet, but do you have suspected suspects? Can you tell me what types of people to avoid? Who to avoid?
You can roll persuasion on that.
18.
Oh, yes, certainly. Look, I'm not an idiot. I know Honey Hollow's not perfect. There are people here with criminal pasts or tendencies. And if you know anybody belonging to such an organization or prone to those kinds of acts, you can certainly avoid them. If you want to stay safe, just lock yourself in your room.
Okay, I think I will do that. I'm a mere monk. I'm not equipped to defend myself. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you're very busy.
Yes, yeah. We're just starting the investigation today. And if you still have worries leading up to the trial, we may know more later. But today is about organizing.
Fair enough.
And
So,
getting that information.
so I can come back and talk to you another day?
Depends on how complicated this all gets.
Okay. If anyone ever asks me about Honey Hollow, I will say the police force there is very understanding and accommodating of guests' needs.
Thank you. If you hear anything, let me know.
Will do. I promise.
Thank you. Oscar?
Oscar.
Right, Oscar. Keep your eyes open. I'd say be safe, but I'm really not worried about anything else happening again.
Thank you.
Ernest, what are you doing this morning?
I'm gonna go talk to Maraska.
You head out there. There's Darvin over there talking to Captain Thorn. They've pulled aside a little bit, so separated from Maraska. And Maraska's coordinating with a couple other halflings. Really just, what does Captain Thorn need? All right, go support her. Good morning.
I think good might be a stretch. But
Yes,
hello.
I don't want anybody to panic or worry. We just need to get through this terrible incident.
Do you have any idea how this happened? I mean, like, I know that crime in this town is a rare occurrence, so this has got to be a huge shock. Do you have ideas?
Yeah, how it happened, someone snuck in and stabbed him in the back.
Okay.
Aside from that, I don't know. We're securing the city. Captain Thorne's team is going to be investigating. I'll probably be questioning some people. If anybody, I'll be calling for witnesses and things like that throughout the week, in case anybody saw anything. I won't be arresting anybody. That's up to Captain Thorn. I'll be taking the voluntary information. Do you have anything?
I don't. I was just gonna ask if you knew of anybody that might have a grudge against him, a rival, somebody that wanted his job. I don't know.
You can roll persuasion.
That's a crit fail.
Cortland was not a perfect man, but to say that somebody wanted him dead, I couldn't believe it. Now roll insight.
15.
She's really just saying this to kind of brush you aside. I'm not talking about that right now.
This may seem like a weird question, but I noticed his name is Junior. Where is...
Yes, after his father.
Oh, where is Senior?
I imagine at home. The Earl is going to go comfort him once we get this all organized here. But yeah, he's definitely still alive. I have no idea what this news will do to him, to be frankly honest.
I can only imagine. Well, I'd say send him, my regrets and well wishes, but it won't mean a thing coming from me, so...
If he doesn't know you, it may not mean much, but just knowing that people feel for him, it's possible? She gives a very wary smile and a shrug.
It's the least I can do. If I can be of any help, let me know.
If you know anything, if you see anything, if you hear anything, my office will be open most of this week. You can find me there once I get this all sorted out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Vale.
Vale's gonna go look for the Earl.
The Earl is also in the town center. He's got a notepad out on a clipboard, and he is taking notes. He's in business mode now. He's usually a very calm and accommodating person, and he still has that air about him. But this is actual legit crime and things that need to get handled, so he's making sure he's doing his duties.
Does he look busy or stressed out beyond any expectation? Like he's not getting the help he needs or anything?
Roll insight. He's an elf. He can keep himself together.
That's a crit.
He is putting on that royal air, just supposed to be a calming presence of stability. But yeah, this worries him. This doesn't happen here, and he's trying to be a strong face for the public. But it's not something he has to do a lot, so it doesn't come natural.
going to approach him and greet him like the member of the court that he is.
Mm-hmm. Even not being introduced to him, you can tell he is a member of the court this morning.
Yes.
Because he is in much nicer clothes, and it's just the way he carries himself.
Something to the effect of good Earl Moore. As a visitor to your town, I would like to offer any assistance I may to help the town so that my friends and I can continue our travel.
That is very kind of you, young miss. What is it that you do?
Well, primarily I work right now as a defender of a trade caravan. Really?
His eyes lit up at defender. You said trade caravan.
But I've served in other capacities, and I have some skills in working in bars and other areas.
Well, we're not too worried about securing the bar at the moment. Right now we need information, really. The more we know about what happened that night, and anybody that may have wanted to do him harm, the better. We do have plenty of personnel officially tasked to this, but if you come across some information on your own, we would certainly look into it.
Can I take a quick glance around and see if he has any sort of, personal guard protecting him?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Okay, then I'm going to try this and see if this works. Kind of in hushed tones, for just him and I to hear. Earl Moore, I don't wish to step on any toes here, but given that there's been a murder in town, do you have any need for any personal protection? It is the sort of skill that I have.
I haven't needed any in the past. And I don't see why an attacker of Cortland's would be after me, unless you've got something to prove otherwise.
I would just point out that they're looking for a murderer who murdered him. How well is the situation of the murder being shared around town? Like what have I heard rumor-wise? I don't want to say something that only I would know.
You would have to actually go out and listen for rumors. That would have to be one of your turns.
Okay. So
just say, I heard all this stuff. This was just walking in. The rumors everything that you hear going through the tunnels and the halls and the town square right now is, oh my god, Cortland's dead. Somebody killed Cortland. It's a little too early for the rumor mill to be started.
Then all I will say is, all I know, Earl, is that someone has been murdered in a situation like that. Isn't any bit of extra safety helpful? You want a persuasion check on that?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll persuasion on that. I'm going to roll that against 13. His better judgment. He rolls a 16. Unless you can provide any evidence that this person is going to strike again, our efforts are going to be on finding the culprits or culprit. I think whoever did it knows that we're looking for them, and for them to continue to break the law in such a manner would only make it worse for them.
So, is there any way I could help your investigation to help suss out any leads that you may have or anything like that?
We don't have any yet. We're working on that. But like I said, if you get information, if you have a lead, you can bring it to me, or you can bring it to Captain Thorn, or you can bring it to Maraska, and we will act accordingly. We won't stop you from asking questions or looking around.
Do you have any reason to believe that there might be danger for anyone who is associated with Cortland?
I can't rule it out right now, but I wouldn't say that it's likely, but I can't say that it's also impossible.
Given that I'm looking to help, right, and protection is something I'm good at, do you know of anyone that might be willing to hire my services? I'd like to help however I can.
Anyone? Just is anybody in town afraid
for their own life and wants protection?
I don't know. Nobody's come up and told me yet. I imagine there are some people in town who are afraid, but you would have to go find them.
Well, then I will thank the Earl for listening to my concerns and remind him that if he needs assistance, I will be around town and willing to assist.
Okay. As we move to the afternoon of the first day, Earl Moore announces that he's going to open up the communal shrine for everybody if they wish to come pray, give offerings, or whatever. There's a dedicated room with shrines to all 5 gods. This one includes the god of the elves just because, hey, it's an elven continent. You gotta have it there. It's kind of required. And he's gonna go head off there, and a few people will peel off and join him. They want to pray. They want some measure of peace and or guidance. Maraska is going to put out a call for witnesses to join her in her office if they want to give private statements, because out here in the town square, maybe they don't feel safe. Captain Thorn is going to lead the crime scene investigation herself. She is off to Cortland's house. Who wants to do something first? No, Arnis does want to do something first. Alright, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go talk to...
Yeah, you can go and give him whatever information you got.
Talk to Maraska. It seems like they don't know anything. You know that this dude's got a dad with the same name, right?
Yeah, I had a feeling about that.
Apparently the Earl's gonna go find this dude at his house. So wherever he lives, obviously it's not with his kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why this person ended up on your list, but you're sure you got the right one?
Where are we right now?
I would assume in the hostel that I caught up with you at lunch and was like, "Oh, let's go talk to you in your room."
These are nebulous time. Like, it's the afternoon. You can meet up wherever you want to meet up. You can meet up in the hostel if you want.
In somebody's room. Yeah. I'm not gonna have this conversation with you in public. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
Or a complete idiot.
Yeah, I am slightly concerned about that, because if...
It didn't say?
I just had a name. No junior, no senior, just first name and last name. That's what I get sometimes.
What if you're supposed to kill both of them?
Well, I think right now, for thoroughness, I need to kill both of them.
Oh my god. But you can't do it right now.
There is another option. If we can manage to frame the father...
If you say dig our way out.
No. If we can manage to frame the father for the death of the son, then the state might take care of his death for me.
How are you going to manage to do that?
That would be something we'd have to figure out.
You're also making the assumption that you can convince anyone here that the dad hated the son that much.
We need to find out.
That he was just like, Shank.
We need to find out what their relationship was like and what we can about the two of them.
Maraska didn't seem to indicate that he was going to be thrilled with the news that his son was dead.
Go figure.
She said, I'm not sure how he's going to take it, but although I suppose even if he didn't like him, he would feign devastation.
Are you doing anything?
I'm thinking. Brain's running, because there's also, we've spent the morning kind of looking around and we've noticed that they haven't fully locked down yet. So we do have the ability to try and spend the afternoon trying to see if there's a hole in their guard and see if we can't sneak out.
I think it might be a little late for that. I think that would have had to be the first thing we do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's just, it will get more difficult as time goes on.
We need to find this guy. And I'm like, if there's a time to try and see if there's a hole, it's now.
Okay.
But if we want our gear, we have to kind of go out the front door.
So would you like to spend your afternoon trying to escape the city?
I don't want to escape, though, and leave Sam screwed.
I got a gig tonight, bro. And I need to show up at that.
Okay.
Quince is waiting.
Because it'll deflect.
Yeah.
Monsters.
I also didn't do anything. I'm trying to deflect suspicion off of myself for something I didn't do. It's sort of pissing me off.
Okay. I didn't do anything either.
You are unconnected to this crime.
Yeah.
This time you didn't do anything.
Why don't you go hook up with your people? Spend the afternoon the way you normally would, but see what you can find out about the father and the son and their relationship as gently as you can. I mean, everyone's going to be talking about it because it's a town murder anyway. So see what you can find out. I'm gonna see if I can't find a way to figure out where the father is.
Arnis, is that all you're doing for the afternoon? Is just chatting with Vale there?
No, I'll go hook up with, go hang out kind of in the bar with all the people.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna make my way kind of for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Is that direction,
So
I think.
Probably a good place for gossip. So, Vale then. You seem to have an idea of what it is you're doing.
I'm going to see if I can't find the Earl, who I know is going to head toward...
He is already headed off towards the shrines right now.
Oh,
the communal
wonderful.
shrine.
So
he's opening it up for prayer.
But I also know at this point that he's intended to go speak to Fortenberry Sr.
Mm-hmm. At some point.
So I want to tail him.
Oh, God.
Okay. You care about being stealthy?
Oh, no, I don't want anyone to know I'm tailing him. I want to be super stealthy.
Do you just want him to not know, or for nobody to know?
Ideally, nobody notices.
Okay, that's a little bit of a higher... I mean, it's still stealth.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a higher DC on that.
I figured. Before I do this, I would like to change my appearance. I don't want to look like Kara.
Okay.
So that if I do get caught, I'm not me, but someone else.
Who are you looking like?
That's a really good question.
There are plenty of people in town.
Yeah, just Mr. Joe Inconspicuous.
Where are you finding this person?
Someone that's already kind of hanging out at the hostel. And then I can just kind of find an alley to turn into, and then...
There aren't so much alleys here.
A dark
being
corner.
under the snow and all.
Yeah.
but you do have a private room.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Give me a perception check. I'll tell you who you find.
I got a 9.
While going through the hostels, you find a young-ish orc female who seems to be arranging rooms, basically, in between stays. Just making sure that things are clean. I don't want to say a maid, because it's not really a maid. This is like a caretaker.
Got it.
Who's going about and just making sure things are tidy, and things like the communal restrooms are still in working order, and nobody's left their dirty laundry in there.
And try to inconspicuously, without kind of bumping into her or making it too hey, look, I saw that person. Oh wait, I just saw that person again. Get out of the hostel.
Roll stealth then.
16.
Nobody really stops you. Nobody seems to take particular note of you on your way out into the city proper.
And I'm going to head out to the shrine.
Okay, we'll take care of that in the evening. It took a while to find somebody.
Got it.
Which brings us to Darvin. Well, you're the only one who hasn't done anything yet this afternoon. What are you up to?
I would actually probably be seeking out Vale.
After you were done speaking with Captain Thorn there in the morning, you noticed that Arnis and Kara took off back towards the hostel. So you can either try to follow them, or...
Yeah, I'll go back to the hostel and see if I can find Kara.
Give me a perception roll.
12.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You lose track of Kara at some point. Probably while you were out there looking for somebody to copy.
I guess she doesn't want to know what I know.
I guess not.
That's cool.
So, unable to find Kara, is there anything you want to do in the afternoon?
Guess I just might go to the... Is it called again?
Sweet Williams?
Yeah.
Sweet Willies.
You can go there if you want.
Get a little mead and see if I can hear anything.
So you're just kind of hanging out at the bar, listening.
Yeah.
Give me a perception roll in the bar.
8.
And just by sitting at a table with a glass of mead, you definitely hear people talking about it. It is the news of the day. There's nothing else of importance going on. You just hear people talking about what a shame it is because, he was in charge of the gardens. What are they going to do without a flower master? Move into the evening then. Are you staying there all night, Darvin? In the bar? Or is there more stuff you want to do?
I mean, at another point, I might try and seek out Kara again. Otherwise, I don't know what else I can do right now. Until then, just keep listening.
Okay. As evening rolls on, more and more people show up. It's later, it's a little bit more appropriate to be drinking. The death was certainly reason enough to drink. Are you sticking with just listening? Just eavesdropping? Or do you want to go and engage in... Okay, roll me another perception check.
17.
As the day has gone on and people have had a chance to start gossiping and start drinking, there are certainly wild rumors at this point. So you will hear rumors of, what if it's a jilted lover? What if it's someone from the big city out to kill him? There's even someone who suggested suicide. And their friend quickly shot him, yeah, it was in the back. Nobody suicides in the back. It's that's what he wants you to think.
Okay.
That one's probably the wildest one, that it was suicide. Most everyone agrees somebody did this. But as far as why they did it, it's still too early. Everything is still just too... first thing that pops into your head, what sounds juicy? It's rumor time.
Okay.
Stop.
Rumor time.
Oh. Had we done?
No.
We can move on now. Oh, yeah, it did.
Really didn't. Yeah, at this point, on the first day, the rumors are all speculation. There's no names going about yet, as far as who. And during your time here, I believe you see Arnis hanging out and drinking as well.
Mm-hmm. I guess it'd be weird not to at least go say hi. Kara never told me that Arnis knew anything, so I'm not gonna be like, hey, so about this murder.
I wouldn't do it in a public place anyway, but that's up to you.
No, I'll probably just be like, hey.
So about this murder.
I mean, yeah, but more like, shit's getting real here. Talking about the murder, but from the point of view of someone who doesn't know anything about it to the point of someone who doesn't know anything about it. Because I think you don't know anything about it. And I think you think I don't know anything about it.
Oh, God.
Why,
This is what happens when you take them aside separately.
That's
I
fine.
need to bring them together tomorrow, don't I?
Why are you hanging out in the bar, man?
Oh, just, listening.
To what?
Fine entertainment.
There was someone up there right now with a couple of those really tall bongos. It's not like super energetic like dance music, but it's just like something with a little bit of rhythm.
It's not like
Just to keep
Ricky
it from being
Ricardo
dead
level.
silent.
All right, I'm gonna go back to talking with my people then. I guess enjoy the bongos.
Enjoy talking to your people, guys.
Alright, artists, who are your people? Who are you chatting with?
Really, I'd walk in and see if there's anybody that I recognized from yesterday around.
Plenty of recognizable faces. Are you looking for a certain type of person? A
Not
person who worked
necessarily.
in a certain area? Are you looking for halflings, orcs?
Not necessarily.
There's certainly some people who will come up and thank you for your performance last night and ask you if you're going to be performing again.
And of course, I would tell them, yes, I am. I'm not sure exactly how to structure my set this evening in light of the tragedy, but yeah, I will.
So if you want to look for anyone in particular, or if you're looking for like a type of person, like the drunk, the groupie, the old married couple,
Let's see if I
the
can
rowdy teens.
find the drunk guy. Like the guy
These
who's
guys
in-
always know something.
Yeah, like the guy who's in the bar all the time.
Alright, let's give the town drunk a name. I don't think I gave him a name yet. Or her.
Or her. Could be a town drunk and she's a lady.
I don't know which name looks good to me
a
yet.
lady.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Stop.
she's a lady.
Ooh. Roll a perception check. There are two people here, I think, who are going to be off their ass drunk. One is the town drunk. Another is someone here who is drunk for a very specific reason.
25.
Up at the bar, both very drunk. There's an empty pitcher of mead in front of both of them.
Oh my lord.
And they've also got their glasses, which still have some in it. Like, they're certainly in it to win it. There's a halfling woman. 40s, maybe? There's also a young orc man. He is definitely drunk, and it is hitting him a lot harder than it is that halfling woman. Who would you like to go speak to?
Out of character, will I have the opportunity to talk to both of them? Because I'd like to talk to both of them. Or do I have to pick one?
They're sitting fairly close to one another, so it's not impossible. It's just you may not get as much if you split your focus.
Interesting, that orc man. But I gotta go with the lady.
Okay.
Because you can hold her liquor.
You did find the town drunk then.
I know who the orc man is. Like, out of character, I know who he is, but, like,
Yes, out of character, Darvin would definitely recognize that young
Yep,
orc man as
I've-
Castor
I figured.
with the dead girlfriend. But you go up to the bar and speak to this middle-aged halfling woman, name of Satsuma. She is up there drinking her mead, focused on the task at hand.
Alright. Hello there.
Hello.
Can I buy you around? Sit with you a while?
Oh, if you're buying, then you can stay.
Alright. I give William the, like, toot signal.
And he gives a glass for each of you. She holds it up vaguely for a cheers.
Yeah.
She doesn't really look at you when she does it and just starts drinking.
So, am I right that I saw you here yesterday, too? When I was in here?
Yeah, I would have been here yesterday.
Well, in which case, then, I suppose you already know who I am.
The loot man. Yeah, I got it.
I'm Arnis, and you are?
Satsuma.
It would, be pretty rude to make a drinking buddy and call him Hey Lady.
That would. You here to play me a song there, loot man?
I mean, I'm gonna play later. Mostly here to just, drink, chat.
The drinking's always welcome.
Chatting, not so much, huh?
Depends on the topic. I don't want to talk politics. That's boring. Leave that to the elf.
That's fair. I'm not big into politics myself. Always seems to get me in trouble. No, I'm actually... the only thing I can think about is this murder.
Yeah, that's all anybody's talking about.
Well, I mean, with good reason. I gather it doesn't happen very often.
No. I want to say something happened when I was still a kid, but I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
It sounds like maybe even you don't remember kind of the circumstances surrounding the last time this happened.
No, I don't.
I was wondering if there was similarities. But
Talk to the cops, not to me. Read a book.
a book? You mean like on the history of the town?
Probably. I don't know. People write things. I don't. I'm
Huh.
not a writer.
Interesting. Where's the library?
You come to a bar and you want to read.
I don't want to read,
You're
but
one of those
you...
intelligent people.
Nah, not really, but I mean, you mentioned it might be in a book, so I'm just...
Yeah, there's a library. If you want, you can go there. It's out there. It's beyond the bar. I mean, if you're trying to get in directions from a drunk person right now,
I suppose I'm not gonna get
Godspeed.
directions from her, but
You go.
she,
All right.
she can certainly tell you where she thinks it is right now if you want her directions.
that's okay. The fact that
on
she's
a-
kind of stopped with like it's outside the bar, I will take and say, oh, okay, thank you.
Although, hey, if you want to get a couple pictures to go, we could go crash in the library.
Is that like
Acceptable.
legal? Can you just like walk around with a pitcher of mead?
She gives a little shrug and says, Thorn's probably got better things to worry about anyways.
I'll take that as a no, it's not legal, but there's bigger fish to fry at the moment.
Alcohol in the public walkways and stuff is not against the law.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
All right.
Public drunkenness, maybe. But just having booze outside of a bar, like, come on now.
Got it.
Yeah, if you want to...
No.
You could certainly convince her that...
No, I don't want to put you out. No, I don't.
Aw.
We can see.
Nah.
We can at least keep drinking here, though, right?
Oh yeah,
Right, Luke, man?
sure.
She finishes off her mead, motions to Sweet William for another one. As Sweet William fills up her mug, he looks at you like, your tab?
Yeah, it's going on mine. I can assume that I'm paying for her, but not myself.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
That is the arrangement.
No problem with that.
Anything else you want from the drunk lady?
Being in the bar, have you heard anybody say anything about the recent murder?
Sure. What do you want to hear?
Whatever you've heard. Has anybody said anything about the guy who got killed?
It's CJ. Everybody knows him. Of course people are talking about it. It's a shame. He had beautiful gardens. You don't know who's going to replace him. And as far as who did it, fuck him.
Was there anybody that didn't particularly like CJ?
If you went in and, took his flowers, he probably wouldn't like you very much. But other than that, I don't know. No stealing from the gardens. We got common plants out in the town for that. No, the gardens are for the bees.
What about his dad?
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No.
What's his deal?
Talk to him if you want.
But he's not cool in your book.
No. He'd never buy me a drink.
I mean, that's not enough of a reason, right? But is there any other reason why you don't like this guy?
Roll persuasion.
I got a 9.
You know how old people get.
Generally cranky?
No, they're old. They don't... Yeah, whatever. Old people. Wow. She's getting more drunk,
This is the
basically.
worst idea in history. Well, thank you, Satsuma. It's been most enlightening.
Cheers. She holds up her glass.
Cheers.
She pounds that bad boy down. Alright, Vale. You've successfully turned into the hostile caretaker. What is it you're up to?
Want to find and tail the Earl.
You finish up your shapeshiftery, and as you head back to the town square, you know that the Earl went to go open up the shrines, or the communal shrine is a singular place where people of any of the 5 faiths can go pray. So you can find your way there if you want. People would definitely point you the way.
So I'm heading to the shrine. Do.
And there's a large pair of doors, and as you approach, the Earl is leaving, having successfully opened up the shrines, probably had some prayer time with some townsfolk, and sat in deep thought. It looks like he's about to go head somewhere else.
Going to step back and give myself a little distance, and then I'm gonna shadow him and follow him where he goes.
Alright, roll stealth.
It's a 9.
And you're following him, and he turns. Jessamine, what brings you here? Are you coming to pray?
Yes, Earl Moore, I was hoping to spend some time in prayer given the day's events.
Well, yes, the shrines are open, and you're more than welcome to go in and pray as you wish. May Dorlek guide you, the orcish god. He's trying to be respectful. Sorry, he's trying to be political. Being political and respectful for him, a little bit one and the same. I'm off to tend to other duties now. If you need some time in private prayer, I could host you in my office tonight, but I have other things to do right now.
Roll insight on that? That's a very interesting comment.
Sure.
Oh, a crit failed.
He is just extending his politeness and courtesy to townsfolk in this time of need.
So I'm going to then go into the shrine and go make like I'm praying.
The shrine is actually the second room in this building. When you first walk in, you're greeted by a rather large room, probably bigger than any of the individual rooms you've seen here in town. And about 10 feet beyond the front doors, there's a halfling waist-high wall, splitting the room in half.
Got it.
The low pair of double doors in the middle. You walk through, and there are a number of rather high shelves You walk beyond that to a larger set of double doors, and you enter into the shrine proper. This room actually appears to have been expanded at one point. So you walk in, and you're there on hardwood floors, rug, some furniture, rows of backless benches. And then beyond that, you can see the room's actually been extended out into the snow. In the snow, there's a large wooden table, looks very sturdy, behind which there are 3 high-backed chairs. Above the chairs, embedded in the snow, sit 5 religious symbols in a pentagon pattern with Olwenir there at the top, Leanna and Dorlek below it, and Brumble and Rubillo at the base, representing the 5 gods of the city.
Got it.
Or at least the 5 that are most commonly worshipped here. And there are people sitting in the benches praying.
Got it.
Go in there and fake pray if you want.
Oh, yeah. Pray my ass off.
You go, take a spot at the bench and bow your head and sit there quietly. Anything you'd like to do while you're in here?
I'm just kind of listening to see if anybody's, whispering or chatting about anything, and then I'm out if I can't find anything.
Contrary to what happens in some real-world churches, there's not any active gossip going on here. People are actually praying. Save that for coffee hour afterwards. And if you're content to spend the evening here in mock prayer,
Yep.
you do that. And then the day will pass. You're all going back to your rooms for the night. Sorry, Arnis is performing.
I was like me later than probably these other 2, but...
What are you performing tonight?
Well, if I caught Quince when he came in...
Came in at some point during the evening while you were talking to Satsuma.
I would try to catch him and see if I can determine, like, hey, dude, what should I play tonight? I'm guessing what I did last night is probably not appropriate this evening, given events, but...
Quince would advise you to keep it mellow.
Keep it mellow. I can do that.
You can roll me 3 performance checks.
Oh, goody. I'm so excited. That's a 24.
Very nice.
And an 18.
Still pretty good.
And a 10. I got CB.
I don't know if you're used to performing after a death or what.
Probably not.
But like you started off really good, nice and respectful. But I guess when Gray the Great closes out a night, can't help but get a little excited and a little bit energetic. And well, the music was fine, it just was not suiting the mood.
Yeah.
And you'll earn 8 silver for the night.
Ooh, I will. How much
In
is
tips.
going to stay with the bartender for what's-her-name's beverages?
Let's find out. 6.
Okay.
She put more drinks on your tab after you walked away.
What?
This is that whole if you give a mouse a cookie thing.
Yeah. I'm going to specifically tell Sweet William, no more letting her put drinks on my tab.
Oh, okay. Next time, make sure to close it out before you walk away. And so the 3 of you retire. So morning comes. The mood is definitely a bit of a downer. Yesterday was a lot of shock at death. Everybody's starting to actually drink it in and understand, like, oh, he is dead. And there's going to be real-world consequences, at least for the city. Who wants to go first? Who wants to do something in the morning?
I'll start us off by bringing us all together in my room.
Very
So I'll
nice.
knock on each one and be like, hey, meet me in my room in 2 minutes.
You're all willing to
I'm
go.
Here in 2 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
But before I leave Arnis, I'm going to let him know, hey, don't mention anything about the guild because I didn't tell Darvin.
How about I just let you do the talking?
Sounds like a good plan. And so we get into the room, and I kind of like, okay, so did anybody else have as little success as I did yesterday?
Did you find Father?
Yeah,
Did he live somewhere in town?
somewhere in town. That's
Hey, the drunk lady said that the last time something like this happened was like when she was a kid or something, and she said I should go to the library and find a book about it.
well. That sounds like a start for you today. Go hit the books, do some research.
I'll try.
Well, actually, Monkey Man,
See if I can.
you're a
find-
monk. You're used to study. Why don't you go hit the books today? Seems like better to have our person out talking to people that's good at talking to people.
I figured town history is the place to start. I don't know.
So you do that this morning. What are your thoughts for today, Arnis? I still feel like I was unsuccessful in figuring out where his father lives.
The drunk said his father was mean, or she didn't like him. But it may have just been because
He
he would
buy her
never
beer?
buy her beer. But I couldn't tell if like he was mean and didn't buy her beer, or if he was just like kind of a cranky old man. So I don't know anything about anything. I kind of failed. I'm sorry.
I mean, we got some things done. Less than I would have liked to have gotten
She
done.
put all these
yesterday.
drinks on my tab. I don't like that lady.
Drunks are drunks.
I usually
They
do
do
very
that.
well with town drunks. I did not do very well with her.
Okay. We need to figure out where his father lives.
How do you suggest I do that without seeming suspicious?
Well, here's the thing. I have a source I might be able to use, but it's not going to be cheap.
How much are we talking about?
I have no idea.
And is it reliable?
Well, the
This
last
information,
information
if
I
you
got
get
from
it.
this person led me to being successful in my first goal.
Well, except maybe not. Unless you're supposed to kill both of them.
I don't know.
Oh, right, shutting up.
So, what are either of you doing in the morning? This is the time to make that plan.
Why don't you
Yeah.
go find out if it's going to cost you money?
Okay.
And then how much it's going to cost you, and then I will let you know if...
We'll meet back here at lunchtime.
It is a good thing for you all that I make money regularly.
Hey, I just haven't gotten... You can
Never
come back
mind.
here from the library whenever you're done. Okay.
We go talk to Quince, see if he knows anything about the father.
That's something to do.
I don't really feel like talking to another authority figure
All right.
and insinuating myself further into an investigation that I don't really want any part of.
Who wants to do the morning first then? Let you guys have plans.
I will. I'm headed to the music shop.
Okay.
Quinstruments.
You're headed off to Quinstruments. On your way there, you can see Captain Thorn talking to members of the city, just the general citizens, asking for information. It's kind of a random questioning right now. It's really just like, who's here, who can I talk to? At least that's what you tell on your quick walk over to Quinstruments. You open up the door. He's tuning a couple instruments. It's the morning. It's slow, not up to anything big.
Hello.
Good morning. You like that book? Got a new song for us?
I don't yet. What
It's too
with,
bad.
I mean, what with the murder and all the kind of disturbance in town, I've been a little sidetracked.
Mm-hmm. I heard you play last night. Maybe bring it down there at the end a little bit.
You don't have to
Maybe
say
bring
it.
it down there a little bit.
Man, I know. It ended poorly.
Come to spend some more money?
I actually came to talk to you.
Oh, welcome then.
Um,
I'll speak to another musician anytime.
I'm troubled by the recent events in town, being kind of new here, obviously. And I'm wondering, I know this kind of thing doesn't happen often, or really...
No, it doesn't.
Were you around the last time something like this occurred?
I was really young, to be honest.
I know that CJ has a father. Do you know if he's been notified or told yet how he's doing?
Yeah, he definitely knows by now. I know the Earl spoke with him last night.
Do you know how he's doing? How he's taking it?
I haven't seen him personally. I don't know, how does one react when you find out your son's been killed?
I suppose that's true too.
Roll persuasion. Just want to...
I was like, you can make me roll something here.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. I'm sort of prodding this dude for information. Like, I'm
This
doing it.
isn't like private information, it's just
Oh
how much he's going to open up.
dear, I got a 7.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's taking it great.
I mean, being new, I don't know how, like, what their relationship was like. It's hard either way, but
I mean, it wasn't the best from what I know, but yeah, nobody wants to lose a family member, especially a younger one.
yeah. This may seem really out of context, but have you ever met or, like, interacted with, I guess, CJ Sr.?
It's a Cortland Senior.
Yeah.
I mean, the J is for Junior, so he wouldn't be CJ Senior.
Oh, the J is for Junior. I thought it was like a middle name. Sorry. I didn't realize that. With, like,
No, it's
with
okay.
Cortland Sr.
Yeah, of course I've met him. There's enough people here, but you meet everybody eventually.
What was your impression of him?
He's a set man. He is set in his ways.
And I'm assuming he's old enough to be kind of whatever the equivalent of retired is.
Oh,
Right?
Oh, definitely. He's an old man, gray hair, wrinkles, all that jazz.
What did he do before he was retired?
He was a florist. He was actually a very good florist. Bouquets and stuff, not the gardens that his son took care of. But he made very fine arrangements and center places. And, things for ceremonies.
That's interesting. And how are you doing with this whole thing? I mean, you've lived here your whole life.
It's troublesome. I hate to see somebody go, like that especially.
Yeah.
I just hope Captain Thorn finds whoever it was and brings justice to him. How are you feeling? Are you feeling safe?
Not exactly. Which is, I think why I've been so questiony with people just about, like, when this happened before and kind of about his family and stuff. But,
All right.
I mean, there doesn't seem to be any indication from anybody that it's going to happen again. None of the authorities seem to think so, but I
A crime spree in Honey Hollow? That's never happened.
I suppose that's fair.
If you just want to hang out around some instruments and stuff, you can chill here.
Yeah, I may do that for a little while.
It's not the busiest of stores, I understand, but...
For a little while this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome to stay here.
Can I help you tune something?
Grab something.
All right.
What instrument do you find on the wall?
I don't know.
Pick an instrument. What do you find on the wall?
I'm good
on
with
a rack or whatever.
I'm good with a dulcimer.
You find an old dulcimer. He tells you nobody's touched that in years.
Oh, well, it could use a good
It
tuning.
could definitely use tuning. It's never my preferred instrument.
Oh, well.
I don't know what a dulcimer is.
It's a string thing that you, like, play on your lap, but you use, like, mallets.
Oh, one of those. Yeah, no, that is definitely not one of his preferred instruments.
Yeah. It's
Well, his guitar.
something I can play. Like, I'm proficient in it, but I don't prefer it.
I didn't know what that was either.
Sure. You've got plenty of time. You'll tune that up just fine. Who's next?
I'll do my next.
What are you up to,
I
Beth?
can't remember the name of the store, but I'm heading out to the Poisoner.
Kata's Herbs and Wines. Just to be clear, you're Kara right now.
Yes, I'm Kara right now.
Okay. Since you were Jessamine a little bit yesterday, I wanted to make sure. So as soon as you walk in and Bakata sees you, she's, what are you doing here? Oh my god.
Well, I'm curious as to why you're so afraid that I'm here now.
I knew what you did, and I knew you were going to do that.
Give you a reason to keep your mouth shut.
Exactly, and it would give us good reason not to be seen so much together.
Well, I was informed that the gentleman whose information you gave me information about had a living father.
Yes. Yes.
You didn't give me that information. And now there's a chance
I tried.
Oh, and now there's a chance that my job's not complete, and everything's going to get more complicated.
So do you think that killing more is going to make it better?
I have a feeling you might have something that may be able to help me make it look like it wasn't a murder.
Yeah, I tried to give you some yesterday.
The stuff I've already got.
No, she did offer you a means to kill someone, and you said, no, I've got it.
I need that stuff, and I need the information on how I can find the father.
Finding Cortland Sr.'s not going to be that much of a problem, but, if you go after him now, it's going to look a lot more suspicious than just one person getting killed.
If you have something that makes it look like natural causes, then it's going to look like the entire ordeal just was too much for his old body to handle, and he passed.
I certainly have things that'll make it look less like a murder, but it's only a matter of time before Thorn comes around asking. So, I'm just going to be blunt here. It'll cost a bit more this time.
It's interesting.
You'll be able to find his dad pretty easily. If you want something like that from me, it's not going to be cheap.
Well, this woman's a halfling, right?
Bakata is... No, she's an orc.
Oh, wonderful.
In about her 50s.
I'll just try to full-on intimidate here. Or I could just frame you for the murder. I'll roll for that, obviously.
Yeah. By all means, if that's your tactic is framing.
It's an 11.
She also got an 11. It's just a push, basically. Look. You could certainly try, and I definitely don't want that kind of attention brought on me and my store here. But I already heard that he was stabbed. I don't know if you looked around or not, but I don't really have daggers hanging off the walls. I've got potions and plants and herbs and perfumes, nice oils.
It's true. You're right. It doesn't look like you've got daggers lying around, but there's ways to find them, and I'm sure that the captain would believe you if you walked into the front door and said you killed him with a dagger.
I would never do such a thing.
But
That is insane. Why would I do that?
You wouldn't, but I know someone who I could convince that looks exactly like you to do it.
I don't have a sister.
I'm not saying it's your sister, but there are many means to impersonate you, magical and other ways.
Like you're some kind of magic man.
Just roll that intimidate there.
Roll intimidate.
Oh, that's a 6.
Oh yeah, I stand by my statement. Like you're some kind of magic lady. Please, if you were magic, you wouldn't go stabbing people. You would just twiddle your fingers and they'd be dead.
You're right. You know what? You're right. There's no point in arguing, and I'll just walk away.
You could always offer proof that you could do this.
Oh,
to
no,
her.
I have a plan for the proof. Don't worry.
Okay.
I have a plan for the proof.
All right. Anything else you want to do with Bakata?
As I'm walking out, I'll turn around and say, just don't forget I gave you the easy way out of this.
And with that, we'll bring this chapter to a close. But the story will always continue. Podcast art created by Vanessa Blockland. You can find more of her art on Facebook or at vanessablockland.com. Blockland spelled Blokland. Podcast music by Daryl Dibber Rekanos. You can find more of his music at dibber.mo or at soundcloud.com/dibbermusic. Dibber spelled D-I-B-U-R. Website design by Patrick Dunkerley over at dunkdesigns.com. Thank you for listening to this chapter in Seasons of Skyrend. If you like what you heard, please give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you find us. If you want to chat, we're on Twitter at Skyrend Podcast, or you can email us at skyrendpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us online at skyrendpodcast.com.